Welcome to the 2025 MEAC Basketball Tournament post-game press conference. With us now are the Lady Bisons of Howard University and head coach Ty Grace. As a reminder, please raise your hand and wait until the microphone is given to you now for all media questions. We will begin with opening remarks from Coach Grace, followed by questions from the media.
Just want to say congratulations to Norfolk State. They did it again. Larry did a phenomenal job. The players did a phenomenal job. Just didn't turn out in our favor today.
I know yesterday you talked a little bit about, getting over that hump, likening Norfolk State to a sister that gets on your nerves. Mm-hmm. From a takeaway from a game like this, an experienced team with obviously, Diamond and Wheeler, what do the players take from this, the returning players, in particular, Sanaya, and players like that?
I felt like we had, experienced players like Diamond and Wheeler, and sometimes when you don't, show up in certain moments, these are the results. But hopefully, they take away just that, the experience of being here, and knowing that that's been the standard for our program, the past 7 years. This is where we want to be at the end of every year, and then going to the NCAA tournament. So the experience of getting here is hopefully what they take away, in that, they don't want to, have this feeling year after year. It's not a good feeling, and that's not what we want for our program.
Charles Harmon, Minnesota Spokes Recorder. In a perfect world, both teams should be going to NCAA. But can you just speak a little bit about just the performance of your team this year, and hopefully moving forward?
I thought this year was a year that I had no doubt that we would be here again. I guess I kind of knew that from the summer coming in, and there was some ups and downs throughout the season. But obviously, when you're the type of team, like we call ourselves a championship team, championship culture, I knew that the time when we had to win, we would win, and that's what we did to give ourselves a chance to be here. So I hope that this doesn't put a sour on that type of thought process of being here, because it's like you get here so many times and you don't win. It's just a tough pill to swallow. Like, I'm tired of saying I've gotten here 4 or 5 years and you don't win. It's just a really, really tough thing, knowing that you have the team and the capability to do that, because we do have the team to win today. But the right team didn't show up today, so.
Coach, fourth quarter, you guys go on this 14-3 run. What were some of the adjustments you guys made in order to get that offensive run and keep it close to it?
I think we just kind of started getting back to ourselves. We talked to them about being more aggressive. We just had to try to attack them more and try to get some more foul calls. And defensively, we guarded them the way I wanted to, the first couple of quarters. But, there was just some lapses in offense. We didn't score a couple of times, but, we just kept telling them to be aggressive. We were trying to defend, take a couple of players out of the game. So, obviously we have the capability to make the runs like we did, and it just happened too late. It just happened too late.
I'll follow up. Coach, you went 10 deep today. A lot of talent still returning on this team. What was that message to them in the locker room to, hopefully prepare them for next season?
Again, they came here for a reason. Like, when we recruit players, we tell them that they're going to have an opportunity to play and an opportunity to win a championship. And those are two things that we provide when you come here. And so they know that. So we just talk to them about, getting back to work. Like, we just got to get back to work. Obviously, this is going to take some time to, let this pass. And, everybody's not feeling great today. But, life goes on. We got to get to the next thing, and we got to give ourselves another opportunity to win another championship. And so that's pretty much what, we talk about. And I'm hoping that, they're gonna pick their heads up, and, we're going to get to tomorrow, and we're going to figure out what's next and go from there. Appreciate you.
Has the team explored, that there is a possibility you guys will have another chance to compete and play postseason basketball?
There is, the WNIT is probably the next. We just found out we were an automatic qualifier, so I haven't talked to my AD about some things yet. So it literally just happened, and so once we find out, then we'll go from there. But we'd love to continue to play in postseason.
On another note, so I feel about Sanaa King, but in your experience in the conference, how many freshman point guards have you seen of her caliber?
I have not. She's a pretty special player. She has some tough 2 games here, but I don't know if everybody watched her. Ms. Hill, you've watched her all season. She is just a phenomenal kid. Like, she can do so many things. She understands the game. She's super talented, super skilled. She just had some tough 2 days here, but I know she's gonna bounce back. She's just a resilient kid. She works so hard. And she plays, higher than a freshman. Like, she is a freshman. We know that in what's on paper, but she has the capabilities of a upperclassman and the maturity of an upperclassman as well. So looking forward to her future.
Are there any remaining media questions? And are there any closing remarks from Coach Grace?
No, thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Welcome to the 2025 MEAC Basketball Tournament post-game press conference. With us now are your 2025 MEAC champions, the Lady Spartans of Norfolk State, with head coach Larry Vickers, Diamond Johnson, and Kiera Wheeler. As a reminder, please raise your hand and wait until the microphone is given to you for all media questions. We will begin with opening remarks from Coach Vickers, followed by questions from the media.
Well, we're definitely relieved. But before we talk about anything else, I definitely want to congratulate that Howard team on a terrific season, 20-plus wins. Every time we played, they threw everything at us. So Ty Gray, she runs an amazing program. So I definitely want to, congratulate them. And I'm not sure where they'll fall in postseason, but I'm pretty sure they'll do well. This never gets old. Since June 15th, this team has kind of bought in, worked hard with a ton of expectations. Just going from 26 wins to 27 wins to 30 wins. It's not easy. Some teams could get big-headed. Some teams could lose focus. There could be a ton of dissension in the locker room. But they almost kind of get closer and support each other by the day. And that's special. And that's the only way things like this happen. Just talk about the game. Howard's jumped on us really every time we played them. And I felt like we did a good job today of, delivering the first blow, going up early. And then as they begin to make their run, you can start to see the pressure a little bit that we were that we've had start to ooze out in that second quarter where we shot 2 for 17. This is probably the worst shooting period we've had all year, but that was just us not dealing with the moment. But, unlike the first 2 times we played them, we went into the locker room actually up. So when we made our run in the third, it was enough separation that we could hold off in the fourth when they made their final run.
Yesterday you were talking about the advantage of playing somebody 3 times in a season.
Yeah.
And King and Howard had 14 turnovers between them. Was that something, a concerted effort in the defensive game plan, or did it happen as a result of what you all were doing defensively?
Well, even though we have some terrific half-court players, we know we can get some easy ones in transition. It's just going to make our job easier. It takes a lot of pressure off of us in the half court. Not that we were specifically aiming at them, but we know we can apply pressure. We can turn over some of the best guards in the country. Those are 2 phenomenal guards, but we were able to turn them over as well. We want to be active, and I felt like it was a moment where we were almost playing so hard we kind of ran out of gas a little bit. But we knew if we did things the right way, that we could turn them over.
Coach Vickers, I know this is sinking in, but just talk about, your personal journey with Norfolk State, as a player, as you guys trying to get established in this conference, and then to now take this women's program to 3 consecutive championships, and your former coach getting a chance to win the men's championship. Just talk about, just how that feels to be a part of this.
Well, it feels amazing. I still have a players group chat from my time here at Norfolk State, and I was reading the messages the other day, and they were talking about we only made it to really 1.5 semifinals, because the group was broken up a little bit. This group is just used to playing in semifinals. They're just used to playing in championship games, and for me, sometimes in this business, you can't get those college times back. Like I try and tell Don, Mimi, our whole team, you kind of got to take advantage of these moments. You don't want to be like me and my team in our group chat talking about shoulda, woulda, couldas. And one thing about them, they've kind of bought into all the moments and being champions. And what is that? I don't know. We feels like we always play on Fridays. We always play on Saturdays, and it just kind of speaks to the type of players that they are. I was nervous. I'll tell you this before the game. Me and Coach Jones have probably done this back-to-back thing in the championship game maybe 4 or 5 times, and we've never won both. So it's not, Don talks about me being superstitious, Mimi talks about me being superstitious. So it wasn't like when they won, I was like, dang. But when they won, I was like, oh, Lord. It was like, because we've been here several times before, 17, 18, and Coach Jones he always tells me, he's like, when we do it, we're going to put a poster, we're going to put a billboard up on 64, other 2 programs. So we finally done it, so that billboard's definitely going up. It's going to be there all year, too. All year.
For Diamond and Sierra, you talked yesterday about the 30 wins and how important that is, but just talk about the feeling that you get when you run this many straight games, when you're in these semis and in terms of points in the game where you get a little stressed, like Coach talk about how important it is for this connection that you all have developed over the last 2 years.
Honestly, it's been so real, and it's just we reaping the rewards of our hard work. Really, Diamond's in the gym a lot. My team works hard a lot, so just reaping our rewards for all the effort we put in just feels amazing. It feels like relief, and us getting through the runs and the struggles, it's nothing. We go through a lot of struggles. We go through a lot in practice that y'all do not see. So there's never a situation that we haven't been in. Even when we frustrated with each other, when we frustrated on the court, it's something that we've seen before. So just being able to show it on the court and get the end result is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I can think about just July, June right now. That's how crazy time flies. When we was on them hills, them bleachers, doing them doubles, it was a lot. It was hard work, but we knew the group that was coming in. We brought 7 returners back, 5 starters, so we knew it was gonna be more mature than last year. And we just upped it. We went from 13-1 to 14-0. We went from 27-6 to 30-4. We just had set goals, and we knew we can accomplish it if we all just stick together, be confident, and just remain a top dog. Because it's easy to get complacent, but we didn't. And the coaching staff, they do a great job of breaking down film and what we need to adjust to next game, in games. It's just a whole collective where we all worked hard, and this is the reward. Like Coach said yesterday, P4 teams don't even get 30 wins, especially for HBCU. It's not ideal, but this is really historic. And we can celebrate tonight. We know we got a selection show tomorrow. And then we see where we land. But we just going to live in this moment right now. 3-peat, that's hard to do. And yeah.
Coach Vickers.
Yes, sir.
Diamond, Kiera. First of all, Daryl Cuenca from the Virginian Pilot. Thank you guys so much for your time the other day, for your interview time. First question is what do you got? Are you guys going to do anything for the selection show tomorrow?
So tomorrow we'll be at Roger Brown's. It's going to be a joint effort. We've been there the last few years, but now it's going to be our men's selection show first, followed by us. We're all going to be together under one roof. So everybody please come out and join us. It's going to be a really good time. The food at Roger Brown's is really good. I'm going to tell them they owe me a few meals for free for that. But please come and join us. Please come and join us. So that's where our selection show tomorrow will be. It'll be at Roger Brown's. Last year, we had an amazing crowd. Every year it's just grown and grown and grown. And so next year, tomorrow, it'll probably be the best one. Before, I do want to say this. You know, I came in here day one and I talked about Donasia Williams. Came in here in day two and talked about Nia Fields. I do want to talk about Donasia Williams once again because if you watched us play last year, you know, we won 26 games. We brought all 5 starters back and I changed our starting lineup. You know, most teams wouldn't have been able to handle that. It would have been a lot of selfishness in that locker room. Donasia handled it like a pro. Scott Robinson handled it like a pro, right? And it's the little things like that that just make this team special. You know, something like that would really break a team apart. Who changes the starting lineup after winning 26 games? My crazy tale. But it worked. And then now, you know, with the growth of Debria Clark, with the growth of Ajane Richardson, you know, we played a lot of 4 guards last year. We went a lot of traditional this year. So, I mean, I'm just so proud of just my group. Nia Fields was second team last year. You know, she went from second team to unfortunately not being on any team, even though she's one of the most talented players in our league. It's just the sacrifices this team has made. You know, I said it before, Diamond could average 24, MEAC could average 20. You know, they average 19 and 16 because, you know, they're so team focused. You know, and I wish y'all could really come see our practices when, you know, some people ask me sometimes, like, why is your team so special? Well, these two are competitive. In a drill that's not supposed to be competitive, they're upset at my coaches for not calling fouls, right? It's just a simple situation, 1:31 left on the clock. It's not that big of a deal. I mean, they act like it's the game, the 7th game in the World Series. So, you know, just bringing in competitive players makes a group really special.
Coach, just one more question.
Yes.
Going into the NCAA's, the 4 losses are all against like 20-win teams. How does that do for your confidence going into it, that knowing that you can hang with those teams?
Well, you know, I was probably a little angrier at the end of our game than I've normally been. And if people watch me on the sideline, I really don't do a ton. But I was angry at the end of our game today because we can't make those mistakes in our opening round game, regardless if it's 14, 13, 15, 12. We can't make those mistakes. And that's what my frustrations were. You know, when you get an opportunity to be in a close game, you got to kind of take advantage of it. It's not a situation in practice. And I really wasn't happy with that piece, you know, because we're going to have to be great. We're going to have to be great, regardless if we play Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We're going to have to be great.
Are there any remaining questions from the media?
What time is the selection show?
Our selection show is at 7:30. The men's selection show is at 6:30. 6:30 or 7. So they're back to back. So it'll be a really nice crowd. Really nice crowd. I also want to thank you all for coming. I mean, I think y'all can go ahead if y'all want to. In 2016, after my first tournament game, it was one person in here. So to go from one person in here to a packed room day after day after day. Yeah. Who was also at my first win at Howard. To get to this point, I appreciate everybody.
That concludes our post-game press conference. Congratulations to the Norfolk State Spartans.